Hi my friends, Leo Babauta from Zen Habits here, and this is about the power of less as it applies to social media. And this is part 2, of course. In the last video we talked about how social media taps into the basic uncertainty of our lives and gets us distracted, takes us away from focus and meaningful work, from good relationships, deep relationships, and into shallow ones, and really just sidetracks us into the rabbit hole of being distracted all day long. And so how do we move away from that? I talked about simplifying and mindfulness. So simplifying is about saying, okay, I do want to make room for social media. I think it's good for me to, for example, go on Facebook and keep up with my family, or maybe I have a group on there, a group in Facebook where I'm keeping myself accountable for the healthy changes that I want to make, or I have an entrepreneur group on there, or some kind of group that helps me. So there is some good that comes out of it. And so with intention, we say, okay, these are the good things that I would like to get out of social media. And yet the things that I don't want is to get sidetracked and down the rabbit hole of distraction all day long. And so what I need to do is create a container, an intentional, conscious container for these specific social media and the specific uses of it that I would really like. So this is about intention and using these kinds of things consciously. You can do the same thing with email. Instead of doing email all day long, you can create a container that's however big that you need it to be. Maybe it's 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunchtime, and 10 minutes before the end of the day. Or maybe it's 30 minutes or half an hour, 45 minutes or something like that. So having an intentional container, a conscious decision, and saying, I'm only going to do it from this time to this time, and I'm even going to set a timer. And then within that, here's how I'm going to practice. And within this container of social media, let's say I want to do it for 30 minutes every morning at 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m., I say, okay, here's my reminder, it's on my phone. Then I set a timer on my phone as well, and then I can go for those 30 minutes and go through very consciously, getting out of it what I want. Maybe it is just looking at my family group in Facebook, or another group that is going to help me to do the things that I want to do, and I respond to messages, I see what's going on, and then I get out of it very consciously before I keep going. The timer goes off, and I have a rule that when the timer goes off, I will not go beyond that. So there is a part of you that has to be committed to following your own rules and not just giving yourself the leeway and the rationalizations that you're used to. Now there will be a part of you that wants to keep going, and that's an urge that we can see that wants to get away from the uncertainty and wants to keep doing the old habit. What we need to do instead is notice the urge. This is where we bring mindfulness into it. Notice the urge to go do it, or stay in it, or to ignore your rule, and then sit there with that. We can feel this urge inside of us rising, and it's almost like a command that our body is giving us. And yet we can learn by sitting with the urge that it's not actually a command. It's just a feeling. It's just a sensation inside of our bodies. And we've had this sensation many times. It's not the end of the world. It won't kill us to not follow it. And if you practice that for a little bit, sitting there with it, turning mindfully to the sensations in your body, maybe it's a tightness inside of your chest, maybe it's a rising sensation that is spreading out throughout your torso, maybe it's a hollowness in your stomach, bringing some mindfulness to that, turning toward it with curiosity. What's this like? And then relaxing around it. And we can see, oh, actually it's just a sensation right now. It's just an experience I am having, not a command, not anything that I need to do, anything panicked about. It's not urgent. It's actually just a feeling, like an itch that you want to scratch. And so you don't have to follow it. You stay with it. And then you just let it go and say, okay, I notice that I'm feeling some uncertainty and I want to get away from it. Instead, I'm going to open myself up to this uncertainty of the task that's in front of me and pour myself up into it allowing the uncertainty to be there in my experience as I do this task. So that is bringing some simplicity to your day by limiting your social media, limiting your time and messages and email with a conscious, intentional container of a certain number of minutes, maybe a certain number of times a day. Maybe once a day, twice, 3 times a day, but not all day long. And then it's bringing mindfulness, a mindfulness practice of dropping into the body, being with a sensation of uncertainty, rather than following that urge, rather than breaking your rules and your commitments. This is about learning to be more deeply committed to what we really care about, deeply committed to what we tell ourselves we're going to do and tell others we're going to do as well, holding our word, being people of our word, and intentional, conscious people as well. And so with those practices, I encourage you to go out and practice today and see what the power of less when it comes to social media can be like for you.